You hear us all the time talking about the hereafter doctrine. This is what the Master came to give us. That's referred to as the Way or Paa Taraq. This is a series of scrolls that cover everything to do with our culture. So this is what you should really be focusing on now, as well as the actual facts and the Master's secrets. Remember, even though we're going to cover this, YouTube is not always going to be around. So it's very important that you get your own copy. Get your copies of all the Paa Taraqs, the Way, which covers everything you need to know about the culture of Wu Sabat. The Paa Taraq we're going to read today is called the Formation. And this goes back to how things came about, how this planet came to be formulated. 1. Likum ay marer karadu em Wu Nawab, my beloved children of Wu Nawab. 2. The beginning of the origination of each new 24,000 cycle and its 4 quarters of 6,000 years is the beginning and origin of original time for persons, places, and things. All right, so let me just quickly show you what that means. So you've got the circle and it's split into 4 6,000 year cycles, and these 6,000 years all added up together give you 24,000 years, okay, which is referred to as an equinox. So when we're talking about cycles, going back to verse 2, it says the beginning of the origination of each new 24,000 cycle and its 4 quarters of 6,000 years is the beginning and origin of original time for persons, places, and things. Because a lot of times people are caught up in people, places, and things. Let's carry on. 3. That is from Atum, dawn of the east of the circle, moving counterclockwise. This is clockwise and this is counterclockwise, yeah? So, as it says, from Atum, dawn of the east of the circle, moving counterclockwise. 4. So once Shu, gas, air, and Tafaf Natat, Tefnut, liquid, water, and Mother Nature, Natatat, Nut, space, sky, and Father Nature, Sabab, Gabab, or Geb, earth, solid. The Sabatu, Enneads of natural nature, settles down and settles in and cools off from its first burning. 5. They are Atum, and then you have Tafaf Natat or Tefnut, and Shawar Shu or Shawar Shu, and you got Natatat Nut, and you have Sabab Geb. All right, so this is referring to what we will call the elements, right? So that's air, water, and land, solid. Okay, let's keep going. Verse 6. Brain concentration creates Ba Mukwanu, soul beings, called the Taha Ratatu, earth deities, both twins, Ayashu, males, and Ashashu, females. So you got Atum, then you have Shu and Tefnut, you got Nut and Geb, and then Osiris, Isis, Seth, and Nephthys. So these are what we're referring to as the Enneads, all right? So the 9 Enneads. So Atum 1, Shu 2, Tefnut 3, Nut 4, Geb 5, Osiris 6, Isis 7, Seth 8, and 9, Nephthys. Those are the Enneads. 7. And after Muldatatu, mothers of Taha, earth, gave birth to the satellite moon mother, universal deity reflecting Tatafat emotions, Hatat, Haratat, Hathor. 8. And this Aha moon deity by Mahak, brain concentration, became attractions, pleasures, rhythmic movement, and gracefulness. 9. True Tasha, womanhood, to be the seducer of Harar, Horus, and daughter of Reye Reyetat. 10. The true pure rays of natural ether energies of reproduction and Tanakh, life. 11. The sun deity Mel and the sun deity female for the Kawakat planet are produced by Mahak brain concentration of Paa Taraq, the sun, before the planets are produced by brain concentration to grow life. 12. They must cool and transform elements of Taba al-Taba, natural nature. 13. Paa Taraq, the planets, are formulated, and at this earlier time period, only the Pataites were allowed to grow here on this Kawak planet Earth. 14. So its atmospheres and its environment were not safe for weaker humanoids. As you see, Afafreye Ka'a, Africa, is not safe for foreigners. Natural nature in Afafreye Ka'a, Africa, will kill the weaker genes. 15. Paa Taraq, the planet Earth, had to be terraformed. 16. That took place very long after the birth of the Paa Nagar Salal, the Negroid race. 17. Other Salalu races came way after. 18. The last of the 24,000 year cycle was the weakest. Parkakasu, the Caucasians, and then came the beginning of the end, for they are a disease physically and mentally. He is a disease. 19. We are now in the 7,000 year and in the first of the 6,000 years of the next 24,000 year cycle. That might be a little bit confusing, but because these are 6,000 years each, and when you get to there, right, that's the end of the 24,000 years. So we're going to start again from here, which will be like, if you're carrying on counting, this will be like 6,000, and then that will start with the 1. Yeah. So that's why it says 7,000, the 7,000 year and the first of the 6,000. So we're going to start a new 6,000. So because you're adding the 1 to that, it's giving you the 7, but really you're starting from 1 again of the 6,000 year sun cycles to go back around again. So let me read that again. We are now in the 7,000 year and in the first of the 6,000 years of the next 24,000 year cycle. 20. And way before the existence of Paa Kakasu, Paa Karadu Shalel, Paa Raye, the children of the sun, or the Melanonite children, Pataites, were able to participate in the orderly formation and location of the other planets of this solar system and keep them in fit form and order. Because when we talk and we tell people that, you know, the planets, the moon, and the planetary bodies were actually designed and put in place, people think that, you know, it's far-fetched, but this Paa Taraq, the formation, goes into it. Make sure you get your copy because YouTube's not always going to be here. Right, let's keep going. 21. As well as their satellites called Luna or Moon. 22. The formulation and formation of the Kathir Makwanat, the multiverses, and their solar systems are the same for the most part through our absolute infinite natural nature. 23. Sometimes invasions make the exception of the general rules applied because of new matter, materials, sounds, and breath of unwelcomed creatures or aliens. 24. Who invade Kawak-un, a planet in a Wahoo Makwan universe, and breed disease. 25. Yet natural nature will in Wakat time cure her and his self. 26. As you see today, with the way nature is changing all over Paa Taraq, the planet. 27. The weather, the heat, the very environments, those foreign invaders who came to parts of Africa, settled and took over, will be pushed out, not by man's hands, yet by natural nature. 28. Now that the Kakasu Caucasians, 6,000 years of dominion has ended in the year 2000. So this 24,000 ended in the year 2000. Yeah. So that's 2000 AD. So that first cycle ended in the year 2000 AD, and the new one started from 1 going back around. So that's why it's saying this last 6,000 years is when their 6,000 years dominion that they had over the planet came to an end. All right, so I'm just going back to 28 again. It says, now that the Caucasians' 6,000 years of dominion has ended in the year 2000 AD, nature is at work on planet Earth in all parts of it to terraform, changing the weather and the climates. 29. So they now are trying to build underground bunkers to run and hide from the sun and its Shafui Sahamat healing powers. 30. But that will not protect them because as they hide, the waters find them and floods their underground hiding places. 31. The end of the 24,000-year cycle is now upon them. 32. Beseeched by their overlords, who themselves avoid the sun's rays because of their pale colorless skin, the Kama'u, the Pleiadians, in their holy books of Job, if you read in the Bible, Job 4:4, it says, thy words have upholden him that was falling, and thou hast strengthened the feeble knees. And then Job 38:31, canst thou bind the sweet influences of Pleiades, or loose the bands of Orion? And Amos 5:8, seek him that maketh the 7 stars and Orion, and turneth the shadow of death into the morning, and maketh the day dark with night, that calleth for the waters of the sea, and poureth them out upon the face of the earth. The Lord is his name. Who made the seed of the Adamu, the Adamites, on this planet 6,000 years ago? 33. So the Adamu Salal Adamite race will have to retreat many parts of this planet that they invaded and return on the ground or back into the caves and hillsides of Yarap at Europe. 34. Or they will, like Dracula, burn up and die. 35. No matter how they try to run and hide, they are doomed. 36. They have greeted originally with their given tongue, shalom, meaning safety, secure. Shalom does not mean peace. It meant that they would be safe from their overlords. And you can read Hebrew Strong's number 7965, where you see the word shalom, safety. Hebrew Strong's number 7965. Erin, safe, tranquil, peace, solitary. Greek Strong's number 1515-16. And the same word that we say shalom in Hebrew, you see is as salam in Arabic. Salam, which means peace, safe, secure, used as greetings. 37. That later became Erin, peace, solitary, from Greek Strong number 1515-1516, in which later it was changed to salam, peace, safe, greetings. 38. This was the Hebrew, Greek, Arabic cry of the seed of Adamites to Muhammad to be safe on his Paa Taraq, planet Earth, to be secure, to live in peace with beings from above who they feared and worshipped as their Gatatu deities. 39. Flesh getters, as you read in their own holy books from stone tablets of Shumar or Sumeria. 40. The Anaku, known as the Anunnaki, or the Anakim, or the giants who came to earth, plus others of them cast down to stay and mix their seed. 41. So now their time is up, and Taba, nature, is at work removing them off the Kawak Taha, planet Earth, little by little. 42. The weather is changing to become much more tropical. That is tropic, suitable for very hot, sultry, torrid. 43. As Taba Mukwanu, natural nature beings, or tropism, being turned towards the sun, the stimulus. 44. Others with pale, thin bashar skin must turn away, as recorded in the holy book of Malachi, chapter 4, verse 2. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and ye shall go forth and grow up as cows of the stall. 45. And many who follow behind them or mix with them will all fall to the wayside with them. 46. Or he who has their marks in the bashra, skin, of their jasad, flesh. 47. As you read in their holy book about the mark on Adam, that the Yahweh Elohim, the Lord of the gods, could plainly see as he came near. Genesis 3:22. And the Lord God said, Behold, the man is become as one of us, to know good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand, and take also of the tree of life, and eat, and live forever. Behold means look at. So there was a physical change in how Adam looked. 48. Then the mark put on Hanan, Cain, in their holy book. 49. A visible protective mark to last for sevenfold generations, now to be transmittable through his generations. It had to be a genetic marker that could be seen. So Genesis 4:15. And the Lord said unto him, Therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark up on Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. So those who find him, that see him, will not kill him. 50. You will find these 7 generations in the Cain lineage by way of the man called Lamech. 51. Hanan, Cain, sevenfold, or Lamech, 77 by his age. Genesis 4:24. If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, ruler Lamech 70 and sevenfold. 52. So the mark of Adam and the mark of Cain was a physical genetic transformation. 53. Remember, Adam of Genesis was born reddish, blush, ruddy, and then transformed pale, pinkish. 54. Canaan, Cain, was born reddish like his mother Eve, and later transformed albino. 55. Also, Canaan, was born with Cain's mark of albinism, then cursed with leprosy, spotted, diseased. 56. Some of the daughters of Adamites and Sethites were raped by the Nephilim, or the cherubim, Irim, Anakim, Anunnaki, to birth a new seed, a Gibborim, who was transformed by not only physical yet mentally to become weak, and Jawid, wicked, Dawi, evil, by their very nature. Genesis 6:4. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bore children to them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. 57. This is the seed of the cursed leper, today's Caucasoids, and his given dominion. Genesis 1, verse 26 to 27. 26. And God said, Let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. 27. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. 58. Who makes them so wicked and evil to hate all others? 59. Their own deities. Genesis 3:14. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. He put hate, racism in them. 60. The woman's seed means Sethites, for Cain was a son of Nanah. On the Lord gave him her. Genesis 4:1. And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bore Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. He was not Adam's son as Abel was. 61. These were to be kept from you. Their best kept secrets are our actual fact, as we remove their religious lies with Wu Nuwap, Wu Sabat. 62. You see, Nuwapians, the Jasad, flesh, and the Damam, blood, children of Paa Natharu, Paa Salafu, and Paa Nagaru, the Natharu, the ancestors of the Negroids. 63. The Natharu, the ancestors of the Negroids, started being born after Paa Hamanu, the Ogdoads of the sea. All right, so the Ogdoads are mentioned as Nun and Nuntat, Hak and Haktat, Kat and Kattat, Amun and Amuntat. 64. The deities, Reye, Reyetat. So Reye is male and Reyetat female, yeah? 65. And their Nutatu seeds on Taha earth from the deep, Pa Sabatu, the innards of the earth. The matriarchal. So you have Tafaf Natat Tefnut and Shawor Shu Nutat, Nut, and you have Sabab or Geb. And you have the patriarchal, which is Asar, Osiris, and Ashtat, Isis. And you have Satat or Seth, and Nababtat, Hatat, or Nephthys. 66. And the moon deity Hatat, Hartat, Hathor, and her germination of the planet's seed as the mother cow symbol with the father, the bull, symbol of Apis. So you see the Hathor's always wearing the headdress with the horns. 67. For this reason, the cow or cattle is sacred or important to many cultures around the Tapao world. So, like a lot of Hindus, they look at the cows being sacred. 68. And on planet Earth, where these seeds inhabit and grow to maturity, of the 9 races of deities, or the species of Nagaru, Negroids, who grew this universe and were born at and from the source of the Nile River in the equatorial Africa. 69. As Pata'ite, females growing 4 feet and 5 inches, and the males 5 feet and 4 inches, called the Hydropygmies, by the giants who came to Taha, planet Earth, whose females were 7 feet tall, and the males were Tasu, 9 feet tall. So again, that's explaining that at that time, the Pataites, the male and female, the males were 5 feet and 4 inches, and the females were 4 feet and 5 inches, and they were referred to as the Hydropygmy. Hydro means water, so they're coming from water. 70. Remember, Nuapians, the original Jasad flesh and Damam blood deities, Paa Natharu, on Kawak Taha, planet Earth, birthed the first world people, Paa Nagaru, the Negroids, on this orb, Taha Earth. They had to be sufficiently prepared by natural nature spiritually, physically, as well as mentally, to withstand the great heat and high humidity of a very young and powerful atmosphere which existed at birth and beginning of this Wahumakwan universe. 71. This atmosphere attracts our Salafu ancestors still. 72. You, Pataites, newborns, the first creation, the first to stand, walk, and speak here, was in the deep waters. 73. Then you were thrown onto dry Sakar land by natural occurring events in nature, such as tidal waves, hurricanes, and tsunami. 74. Remember, this was long before any other humanoids. 75. The female spoke the first words 54,000 years ago. 76. This seed was survivors. Many did not survive and died off with the original 9 races to remain, and only 4 features of our own race of Pataites. 78. You find today 4 different features of Paa Nagara Salal, the Negroid race. 79. You have the very tall, then the very short, and those in between. 80. We had no wabar, hair, until after we came out of the waters as Mudganu, or mermaids, and mermen, called in their holy book Dagon. 1 Samuel 5, verse 2 to 7. 2. When the Philistines took the ark of God, they brought it into the house of Dagon and set it by Dagon. 3. And when they of Ashdod arose early on the morrow, behold, Dagon was fallen upon his face to the earth before the ark of the Lord, and they took Dagon and set him in his place again. And when they arose early on the morning, behold, Dagon was fallen upon his face to the ground before the ark of the Lord, and the head of Dagon and both the palms of his hands were cut off upon the threshold. Only the stump of Dagon was left to him. Therefore, neither the priest of Dagon nor any that come into Dagon's house tread on the threshold of Dagon in Ashdod unto this day. 6. But the hand of the Lord was heavy upon them of Ashdod, and he destroyed them and smote them with emeralds, even Ashdod and the coast thereof. 7. And when the men of Ashdod saw that it was so, they said, the ark of the God of Israel shall not abide with us, for his hand is sore upon us and upon Dagon our God. 81. We rode unicorns in their holy book, Job 39:10. Canst thou bind the unicorn with his band in the furrow, or will he harrow the valleys after thee? Defended our race from sea monsters in their holy book. Psalms 104, verse 21 to 24. The young lions roar after their prey and seek their meat from God. 22. The sun ariseth, they gather themselves together and lay them down in their dens. 23. Man goeth forth unto his work and to his labor until the evening. 24. O Lord, how manifold are thy works! In wisdom hast thou made them all. The earth is full of thy riches. Job 41:1. Canst thou draw out Leviathan with an hook, or his tongue with a cord which thou lettest down? 82. Some of us flew by the skies, by wings we did glide. 82. Some returned to the deep and still dwell there today. 84. This Kawak planet was our home before chaos and disease was grafted and made to resemble man, the human beast. 85. We grew sunshiny black skin as our Hadir, green scales fell off. We became copper tone, which is the meaning of Nagar in Sumerian, of the likeness of metal copper, as found in there were giants upon the earth, chapter gods and other ancestors. Nagar, copper craftsman, copper tone, listed among Enki deities by Zechariah Sitchin. 86. Also related to Nakash in their holy book, Hebrew Strong's number 5154, 5174 to 75. Snake, serpent, people, sea people, copper people, sun heat genes. All right, so it's just giving you the numbers of the strong numbers: Nakash, brass, copper, bronze. Hebrew Strong's number 5154, 5174. And then you also have snake, which is again Hebrew for Nakash. And you can see that serpent people, sea people, divination, enchantment, Hebrew Strong's number 5172, 5173, and 5175. Daniel 239. And after thee shall arise another king inferior to thee, and another third king of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth. 87. You see it as divine, divination, enchantment. Leviticus 19:26. Ye shall not eat anything with the blood, neither shall you use enchantment, nor observe times. 2 Kings 17, verse 17. And they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire and use divination and enchantments, and sold themselves to do evil in the sight of the Lord, to provoke him to anger. The copper symbol of medical today was of the Houthi, Thoth, used to shafui, heal snake bites in their Bible, John 3:14. And as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up. From Numbers 21, verse 9. And Moses made a serpent of brass and put it upon a pole. And it came to pass that if a serpent had bitten any man, when he beheld the serpent of brass, he lived. Where you read brass, it is copper. 88. So we were glowing green in the seas, and on land we rusted to Nagar, Negroid copper tone. And this is what Enki called us, Nagar, copper, in his tongue. Shumar, Sumerian. 89. It also meant the wise ones, keepers of the secrets, or protectors of the 720 degrees. 90. The whisper is spoken, so no true tone is given by the tone of one's voice. 91. Enki first encountered us beneath the sea, for his name was also Ea, Ea, abode, and A, water, sea, deep in his tongue. 92. In their holy book, Exodus 3:14, it became I am who, or that I am. Yet in Hebrew's translation, by those who know it, was I will be whomever I will be. Heya Ashir Haya, pronounced Ea or Ash Ea, for he was half reptilian by his mother Nimul, known as Id, a consort of his father Anu, related to Alalu. So He could also swim beneath the deep sea. His names or titles were 1. Nud-Immud, 2. Ea, 3. Enki. If you read Job 30 verse 29 to 31, I am a brother to dragons and a companion to owls. Even the Pharaoh was called the dragon in their holy book. 30. My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burnt with heat. 31. My harp also is turned to mourning, and my organ into the voice of them that weep. Hosea 12 verse 9. And I, that I am the Lord thy God from the land of Egypt, will yet make thee to dwell in tabernacles, as in the days of the solemn feast. And in their holy book, Egyptian deities called Elohim, Jeremiah 43 verse 12. And I will kindle a fire in the houses of the gods of Egypt, and he shall burn them and carry them away captives, and he shall array himself with the land of Egypt, as a shepherd putteth on his garment, he shall go forth from thence in peace. 94. So Enki and son Marduk and his son Nabu came to Afaf-Re-Ka'ah, Africa, long before the making of the devil. 95. Enki mixed his seed with African females to breed there as well. 96. So we grew wabar hair on our bodies. 97. Some were raped much later and grew farar, fur on their bodies. 98. This is also why newborn babies can naturally swim. 99. So we grew kinky spiral wabar hair, lost our fish-like fins, lost most of our buoyancy and our glowing green scales for copper-toned skin. Our webs between our fingers and toes shrunk, and we lost, or better yet, shrunk our gills. 100. Yet we still long for the sea water by our nature. 101. Nuapu, Nuapians, know these actual facts about yourself. 102. Evidence of your shrinking gills and your buoyancy system still remain in you as the tonsils, appendix, the spleen. What most call the third eye seat or center was how you projected sounds beneath the waters. Not like how the dolphins use echolocation. 103. You became amphibians, able to live on land as well as beneath the waters, your first home. 104. Much has been lost or forgotten about you. 105. Most within the past 6,000 years, when the overlords of the cursed seed of the lepers taught them the arts of the Labin Magas, white magic, later called Wakan or Wicca. 106. They put you under a spell of amnesia to make you lose your power and forget how you did great things on this Kawak planet before them. 107. They took your Sakar lands, changed your tongue, and cut you off from your Hamet Magas Sakham black magic powers called Nupu, and gave you religious beliefs. 108. Now the time on the divine circle of time has come around as of 2000 AD, which is 6000 AD, and the 24,000 year to start a new 24,000 year cycle.